This is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you.
I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about?
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, if you're some man, acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, yo.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and we are here at the Rumble, but in Saudi Arabia. It's very exciting. We got a full show. We got a bunch of news to tell you. We're gonna revisit the bracket. We're gonna talk about the Rumble and try to fill in the blanks of who we think might be in the Rumble that's not listed. With that said,
Yo, what it do, PCW crew?
let me ask you a little trivia off the top here. Okay. You know, off the top of your head, who do you think won the 2018 Royal Rumble?
2018, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you want me to give you a hint?
Oh, that would be.
I'll give you a little hint. This man went to Wrestlemania, did not win the championship. There's not many people.
Is he royalty?
No.
He's not the king of something?
He's king of something, yes. Yes.
Oh, that would be Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura, man. Welcome to the show, Doyle. Glad to have you here.
Should I do my intro?
Yeah.
This episode.
Yeah. You want me to play you through again? I can play you through again.
I can't hear. I don't know.
You came through.
I can go right into my. I got material. I can go right into my material. I'm ready to go.
Go, hit it, man. Go.
All right. Oh, it's me. It's a Doyle. And if I can borrow a phrase from Lance Storm for a minute, and if I can be serious for just a minute, I've been kind of under the weather, so I hope my voice holds up here. Since the weekend, I've been all not quite right. So I went to the doctor, right? He does all kinds of tests, and he says, "Well, I think I know what's wrong with you. I've got this rare condition. Well, it's rare for most people. For me, it's not so rare. I've had it 12 times now. Lucky me." But he said, "Yeah, we've done all the tests, and you've come back positive, and you definitely have Super Bowl fever."
Oh my God.
And the only prescription is more rings.
Oh God.
Since we're gonna go there on the football subject, then why don't you elaborate further and share your thoughts on Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I think it's absolutely absurd, but I fucking hate Bill Polian so fucking much that if this is what has to happen for him to be just completely excommunicated from the game, so be it. I'm willing to make that sacrifice. He'll be in next year, and fuck Bill Polian. What a piece of fucking shit.
You know what? No disagreement from me there. I mean, obviously, I'm no Bill Belichick fan as an Eagles fan, but come on.
How do you not?
How the fuck do you not put Bill Belichick in automatically first ballot? Like, arguably not even arguably, one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest.
Most Super Bowls, I think third most wins. I mean,
most wins all time, most Super Bowl wins, most appearances.
His game plan from one of those giant Super Bowls. The game plan is in the Hall of Fame. Like, if the game plan is in, probably the guy that wrote it probably ought to also be in. Just a thought.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous that shit happened.
So stupid. This is a fucking stupid pissing contest.
And then you got me who doesn't watch football.
And you're just like, I have no idea what they're talking about.
You guys might as well be speaking Spanish. You know, I can pick up like every other word.
Well, even if you don't watch football, it's a very easy concept to understand. Everybody knows what a Hall of Fame is.
Right.
And if you are one of the best people to ever do what you have done in your profession, it should be a no-brainer that when you're up to be in the Hall of Fame for that profession, you should probably get in. And yet Bill Belichick is not going in on the first ballot. Like, imagine Michael Jordan not getting in the NBA, in the Basketball Hall of Fame the first time he comes up.
Put it in wrestling terms.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
They don't. Yeah,
they don't do the Hall of Fame the same way.
Yeah, it's not a voting process for the Hall of Fame. They just pick motherfuckers.
Right.
And there's no real timetable of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
But like whatever sport outside of wrestling that you watch,
ping pong. Go ahead.
There's somebody who's considered one of the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. If it's NASCAR, you're thinking of like Dale Earnhardt or Richard Petty. If it's football, we're talking Brady, Montana, Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice. Basketball, Jordan, LeBron. Like, imagine LeBron coming up for the Basketball Hall of Fame, and they're like,
nah.
Ma Long is widely regarded as the greatest male.
I hate LeBron James. He belongs in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, though. I can say that.
It shouldn't even be a thought. LeBron James in.
Yep.
And Ma Young.
Imagine if suppose if you want to put it in wrestling terms, suppose there was a voting process. Mm-hmm. Okay, like say they had just a committee of 10 people in WWE. Pick 10 past wrestlers or whatever, and John Cena is now retired. Let's fast forward 3 years. Say that's the eligibility. And now those 10 people are in the room, and it's like, hey, John Cena is up for the WWE Hall of Fame. You would think he should be an automatic in, right? Right. Imagine those 10 people saying, nah.
Nah, we're good.
Nah. Let's hold off. Val Venus is still waiting.
Right.
Like that's pretty much that would be like the wrestling equivalent of what happened to Bill Belichick.
I like that. I like how you can put in a wrestling equivalent to me. That's how you guys are gonna have to, dumb down football to me. Put in wrestling terms, somehow, some way. Guys, I got some news. Let's break right into some news here. Prices finally have been revealed for WWE 2K26. There are 4 different tiers this year. There is the standard edition, which is the $70 one. With so far,
take your pill.
Looks like CM Punk is on the cover. Then there is the $100 tier with the Attitude Era edition. It has Kane, Undertaker, and Stone Cold on. And then there is the King of Kings edition with Triple H, going for $130. And I'm not done yet. The Monday Night War edition has Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Chyna on the front cover, going for $150. That's insane. If I end up getting the new one, even though I'm, balls deep in 2K25, I'm only going to get the $70 one. And I'm going to do what I'm doing now. I'm slowly unlocking characters on my own. And I caved once and bought a DLC pack. And that was the John Cena My Time Is Now tour. But it was mostly just to get Brock Lesnar. These prices are insane. Absolutely insane. When are we going to get to the point where...
prices.
When are we going to get to the point, like, it's just the game's out and every year we just get, like, new DLCs?
Never.
Never. It's never going to happen. Dude, it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. No, that's not the business model.
Right?
You got 2K games. They do it for literally everything. NBA 2K, it's different version every year.
I know,
they get people on that stuff because they know people are going to buy it. Yeah. Every year they come out with a new version of the same game with just an updated year and roster change. It's not going to go to a play as service game like others. It never is, because people have demonstrated, the buyer is voted with their wallet and said that we're going to buy the new version of the same game every year.
Yep.
It's the Madden model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
I'm going to check my, my Xbox next time I'm on and look at the history of the games that I own. I want to write down all the 2K games that I used to own, see if there's a pattern, because I know I wasn't buying them every year, because there was a huge gap, because the game was just so bad it wasn't worth spending money on, or because I know there was a transition before they went to 2K, and I remember that first year they went to 2K, it wasn't really good. But yeah, those are the prices on the 2K games, so good luck with that.
Speaking of prices,
yeah.
And then jump ahead just a tad to the Rumble. What do you think the highest ticket and lowest ticket prices are for this Rumble in Saudi Arabia are?
Oh my God! Oh, so we're just
in American dollars.
American dollars, yeah, right?
American dollars.
I'm guessing the highest ticket is probably $15K, and I'm thinking the lowest ticket is like $500.
I was gonna say like
not even remotely close.
I was gonna say like $8K for like the most expensive, and maybe like $600 for the cheapest.
You are also not remotely close.
Wow.
It is totally different because remember, this is a government-sponsored show, right? The low ticket, the low ticket,
yeah,
is $23.
What? What?
The highest price ticket is $400.
What?
Are you telling me we could have fucking went?
Well, you would have spent
I'm
a
joking.
whole lot of money.
Yo, hold on a second.
Travel and all.
Hold on a second.
Think of all the money you'd spent not buying beer, though. Also,
Yeah.
I'm just saying this. If tickets are this price, obviously with it being government sponsored, because essentially Saudi Arabia is already prepaid for this show.
yeah,
About this
it's a write-off
next year.
Yeah, I know, right?
Speaking of WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia and ticket prices, The Rock expected to receive a record-breaking offer for WrestleMania 43. The news dropped the other day, but the numbers, we don't know what the numbers are going to be. I am absolutely intrigued by this because I want to know how much money they're going to throw at The Rock to wrestle. Because if you guys don't recall, let me see here. If I do a quick Google, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is 53 years old. So, we were talking about him going in the ring at 54 next year. Still go? Is it possible? Maybe. Can you get your money back on a 54-year-old wrestler if you're going to drop like 60 mil or not 60 mil? Like, I don't know. We think they'd offer him like 5 mil, 6 mil.
Oh hell no, no.
What did they offer Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement?
I'm pretty sure he got a couple of million.
Yeah.
So somebody like The Rock to do that, I would say whatever he commands as
$3 million.
an actor.
They offered Shawn Michaels $3 million to come out of his 8-year retirement. So The Rock.
So Shawn Michaels $3 million.
Yeah.
The Rock will blow past that. Like I said,
yeah.
I would take whatever The Rock gets for movies.
Right.
That would be the minimum to get him to even consider.
Yep.
I would think.
He's making money whether he is there or not, though. I mean, if he's on the board of directors, he's already getting a fat paycheck, regardless if he puts a little Speedo on or not.
He probably has Terramana over there, Selling
he honestly, I don't know what kind of situation Sean had. I'm pretty sure Sean was a rich kid growing up, though. So I don't know. But I feel like The Rock is like one of the upper echelon of earners that can be like, no, I'm not doing anything for $10 million. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like they might have to be an astronomical bag, to persuade him to do something he doesn't want to do, if he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Whereas Coco Beware, like we'll give you $50,000. I'm there, I'm on the next plane.
Yeah, that's why I said the baseline would probably be whatever he commands per film. Like I don't know if The Rock is like 20 mil for every movie he does or whatever.
Yeah,
I would imagine for him to perform at WrestleMania, you're probably gonna have to pay something in that ballpark.
Yep.
If not more.
The Street Profits are being advertised on NXT live events. Street Profits, man, down to NXT.
It's Emotion City.
Dude, it's just break them up at this point, man. It's like, I feel like, it's fucked up to say this, Montez Ford is drowning. Let this man go singles run. I'm sorry. If you can't save them both, save one. So,
I mean, is it too late though? Did they miss the boat? I know.
That's one way of looking at it as demotion. It also could be, and this could be perceived as being overly optimistic, but if what some people have speculated is true, is that they were giving them, having them off TV just to reset or whatever, or to, have them come back, quote unquote, fresh, right, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, then them working NXT live shows just could be them getting that rust off
Reps.
since they haven't worked in a few months. The house shows aren't really a thing anymore, so the only way they can kind of get those reps in front of a live crowd would probably be something like this, an NXT live show, because obviously the main roster is overseas working the Rumble, and if, say, for example, the Street Profits are slated to return after the Rumble and lead up to something in the tag team division as a ramp up to WrestleMania. Not saying that they'd be on the WrestleMania card, it could be the go home SmackDown before WrestleMania, but whatever WrestleMania season program they could be involved in, if they're ramping up the tag division, then only way to get them some reps in before they come back on TV would be essentially be like an NXT live show.
Right. And
it's not like the tag division isn't fucking on fire either,
No.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Otis and Tozawa are the number one contenders,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if the tag division is going to ramp back up, because it seems like these things are cyclical, basically.
Right.
Like, there was a point last year where we were talking about the tag team division on SmackDown and how it was on fire and it was cooking, and then it died off, and maybe this, going to pick back up and it's turn to shine. Maybe as the women's tag division may start to fall by the wayside, or maybe the Raw tag team will cool off or ramp up or whatever.
They have three
creative
tag
can't
divisions.
focus on everything.
They can't do all three of them good at the same time.
Right, like I said, creative clearly has shown that they can't focus on everything at the same time. So they're clearly they're phasing this stuff in.
Yeah,
it's like a spotlight that's just gradually moving around. Like, all right, now we're focusing on this. Now we'll focus on this.
And we're being
we'll
honest,
focus on
like,
this. So.
Street Profits are 4-time tag team champions. I mean, they're gonna do nothing but good for NXT. They're bringing something to the table. It's not. There are some tag teams in the past who've been put down back in NXT, and they didn't help NXT at all. I don't
think they're working NXT. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm still talking about them being main roster SmackDown.
Right. I mean, but it looks like they might be. I mean, if they're being advertised for live events, they might be down there for a while. At least my assumption is until WrestleMania's season's over.
I think they're just doing that just to get reps in.
Right. Okay.
Like I said, they don't. House shows aren't a thing anymore. So how else are they to get their ring time and that stuff off?
Right.
Only real way to do it is do an NXT live event show.
Yeah. Moving on here. Let's keep the ball rolling. Tommaso Ciampa showed up on AEW after his retirement from WWE. I guess when people say they are retiring from WWE, it just means, hey, I'm just going to show up in another company. I think
release might be the more operative word than retirement.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was reading up on his interview. He made a comment about why he went to AEW, and really he wanted to use this character, the Psycho Killer. Creative really wasn't giving him the room to breathe to use it, and his contract was just up, and he spoke to Khan, Tony Khan, and I guess they had open arms and they're willing to work with this character for him, and why not, right? So I think he'd be good. He said if he was around during the Attitude Era, he would have been on the ECW roster. He was saying if he would have been around during the Monday Night Wars. So I gotta see that. I could see Ciampa being there. So let's see how well he does. With him going to AEW, we did talk about last episode about Powerhouse Hobbs coming over to WWE. But I think he was released earlier. I had it written down somewhere. He's going by a new name, a new ring name. But it's not going to be Powerhouse Hobbs. It's going to be something... Oh, God. I don't recall where it is. Now I feel stupid bringing it up and not having it.
Well, we don't know for sure. They trademarked every now and then. They'll trademark a bunch of shit, and people will speculate. Oh, maybe this is that person. So the speculation, I think, is that he will be Royce Keys.
Royce Keys.
Yep. Thank you.
Which supposedly is something related to his son.
Right. Nice. All right.
But I mean, sometimes stuff gets trademarked and it becomes something totally different, or nothing at all.
Perfect segue, Doyle, because guess who just got a name trademarked? That would be Gunther, trademarking the name Career Killer. Makes me even more nervous for this PLE then. Wonderful. What else I got here? Before I give you guys into the bracket, I want to talk about the fantasy league bracket here, the fantasy match. I have mentioned in the past on a former episode a long time ago, and maybe I've been talking about it a couple times, but the one fantasy match I've always wanted to see, and it was fucking burned on a Raw, and not even that, it wasn't even finished. I got to see AJ Styles versus CM Punk, you know, and for me, as a fan of both those guys, it's something I've wanted for a very long time, and I got it on fucking Raw out of nowhere for the World Heavyweight title, and of course we all know how it ended. There was interference, and it upset me. I was on this wonderful roller coaster, and then interference, you know, by Finn Balor. So I was so close. But if that's all I get, you know, I'm happy. If that's all I fucking get, as much as I would love a feud or a clean finish, if that's all I fucking get, I can die happy, man. Because I was going to put it on this list. And I was like, you know what? I can cross that off. So I thought that was kind of funny. I'd bring that up. That was on Raw recently. So if you didn't catch that match...
I was like, my only comment on that is I'm disappointed that they decided to go back to a heel Finn Balor.
Yes. Yeah. After his
I was kind of looking forward to him at least kind of, you know, towing the line for a little while between heel or babyface and seeing if that was going to become part of some Judgment Day storyline, but they just throw him back in the heel, and it's like, damn, all this goodwill. It seems like all the goodwill and interest that was built up in what he did overseas with CM Punk, they just threw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, dude. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, because when he's back in as a heel, then you know ain't nothing gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
He may work a championship program with Punk, which he ain't gonna win. He ain't going into WrestleMania challenging for nothing. So it's like, okay, he's back a heel again. Whoop-de-doo.
He can't even get in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we're sitting here guessing how to fill the goddamn Rumble, but apparently it's full. Oh, man. That actually, I thought that was kind of clever, because they never really have brought that up before. Like, everybody's always claiming to want to be in the Rumble, but nobody's ever... No general manager or authority figure has ever gone, oh, we're actually full. I just feel like we're at some point in time right now where we just have so many wrestlers on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, wrestlers coming from TNA, that I feel like it's just so hard to find the right people to even get into the Rumble, because there's just so many people.
Yeah, and yet Tozawa will still get a spot.
Yeah,
in fact, he'll probably get demolished by Finn on the way to the ring again, and Finn will take his spot.
Yeah,
I feel pretty confident Finn is going to steal someone's spot somehow.
Ugh. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, let's go into this. Oof, man, I've been sitting on this one for a while. This fantasy match. Okay. All right. This is one that I think we've all heard when it comes to wrestling fantasy matches. And that is why we never got Undertaker versus Sting. Right?
Vince is a fucking retard.
Yes. It gets brought up so many times of missed opportunities, of missed fantasy matches. Like, what if, Sting would have came over, after the Monday Night Wars, and we would have gotten Sting and Undertaker, whatever version you feel like Undertaker was peak, and when Sting was peak, I feel like in WCW, right? His last few years there. And Taker, I don't know. I really think Taker would have been. I don't know, Taker's always had a roller coaster of a ride of when he was peak and when he wasn't. I don't know. I kind of liked him after he came back after the American Badass, when he came back as the Dead Man. I think his first opponent was like Orton or something, or no, Kane.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 20 when he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's been discussed time and again. Like, for one, by the time Sting did come to WWE, he was well past his prime. So was the Undertaker. So any match that would have happened then would not have been good. It would not have. Probably would not have delivered in the way that people wanted it to. The time to have done it would have been back in 2002, when they purchased it and they first came over. But one, the way the contracts were set up with WCW, a lot of those guys had no reason to come to WWE because they were still getting paid by Turner,
right?
Because of the contracts that they had. So they
were getting paid much better than they would have been. Yeah.
Right. A lot better than they would have been. Like the peeps. That's why
nothing.
Yeah. That's why you didn't get any major stars in the Invasion angle from WCW. Like the biggest star you got was Booker T.
Right.
That was the biggest.
And I'm pretty sure he took a pay cut.
Probably. And you saw how they treated him as soon as he showed up, which also contributed to why Sting and them decided, while Sting himself decided not to go, because he saw Booker T show up on television and immediately get shat on by The Rock.
Oh, yeah. So
we all remember that. Who in the blue hell are you? And I believe Sting said he saw that and saw how those guys were getting treated, and he said, nope, I'm not going over there just to get, pissed on by Vince McMahon just because he thinks we were the inferior company is WCW,
right.
Which, let's be real, probably is what would have happened.
Right.
If Sting would have showed up, they would have jobbed Sting out to Undertaker like a motherfucker.
So let's say Sting versus Taker, or now these are two guys who are also on the roster at the same time, came up very differently, but I feel like got both former world champions, and that is Batista versus Brock Lesnar. Two guys who really haven't crossed paths. I'm thinking, Batista right after, maybe a year or so after he's beaten Triple H after his first world title, and we're talking Brock Lesnar, right fresh out of SummerSlam, beating The Rock,
You don't think Deacon Batista is peak Batista?
No. Deacon Batista. Come on, bro. Dude, the fact that anybody remembers Deacon Batista, holy shit. I do. I remember they were in Ole Valley Wrestling together, right? OVW? They came up together with Orton and
Lesnar and Batista?
Yeah, Batista and Lesnar,
Yeah, Lesnar was Brock Lesnar.
Cena, Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
they're all that OVW class.
But
Cena, Orton, Batista, Lesnar. Yeah, Benjamin.
And these guys, like, when they came up, like, I remember, like, Batista went to Raw, and, Brock went to SmackDown. Obviously, Brock shot straight to the top, and I think he was just a freak, man, of nature. I mean, he was young too. Batista was a lot older when he started, and but taken under the wing of Triple H and Ric Flair and put in Evolution really catapulted his fucking career from Deacon Batista, to the Animal. Damn, that would have been. I mean, this is back when Batista also was 300 pounds. He's definitely not that now. I forget how much he weighs now. He's definitely nowhere as big as he was, but he's also a lot older. Yeah, I mean, it seems like to me there could have been a window for both of these at one point. Maybe even in 2016 for Sting and Taker. I mean, they were literally at the same WrestleMania. That's the one where Taker fought Sting and Bray fought Taker. Triple H fought and Sting and Bray and Taker. There couldn't have even been a window there. I honestly, when Sting came back to WWE, that was the very first thing I said in my head. I'm like, let's do this now. Let's go. Hurry up. Because that window was fucking small. Nope. I thought it would have been money. Even if it, you guys definitely damn well know in 2016 that match would have been sloppy. But we would have still gotten it. The build up for it might have been great. The promos, the I don't know. I think the build up would have been really good, but the match itself would have been probably disappointing in 2016.
That's literally what I said. Like by the time Sting came, he was both him and Taker were past their prime.
Yep.
So the match itself would not have been good, and Vince being Vince, Sting still would have lost.
Right.
There ain't no way in hell Vince was gonna put Sting over Undertaker. He couldn't even put him over fucking Triple H.
He wouldn't put him over Triple H. Exactly.
So we're saying like these guys both in their prime. We're saying like if they did get Sting right after the Monday Night Wars, right? Would that be a more entertaining and better match for you guys? And would you rather see that, or would you rather see, first time, winning his world title at WrestleMania, beating Triple H, Batista, versus a fresh heel beating The Rock, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? Trey, what do you got, man? What do you think?
For me, like I said, as how I would define Prime Sting, Prime Sting is 1997 Sting. It's pretty much fresh crow,
right?
When he was the hottest thing in wrestling before Stone Cold, 316, all that took over. Because some people tend to forget that there was a year where yes, Sting was the hottest thing in wrestling, despite not wrestling a single match until the end of the damn year.
Or saying a single word.
Right, barely saying a word or doing anything. And he was the hottest thing in wrestling. When WCW was absolutely curb stomping WWF into the ground every week in the ratings. So to me, that's prime Sting. And obviously when people think of Sting versus Undertaker, they're obviously thinking of Crow Sting. They're not thinking of Surfer Sting. Because if you want to be technical about it, Steve Borden and Mark Calloway have wrestled before.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
But it was technical. In WCW.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be technical, yes.
Okay.
But it was WCW when, obviously, again, Surfer Sting and Mean Mark Callis during Taker's first run in WCW. So they have wrestled before, but obviously Sting was popular, but he was not in his prime yet, and Mark was not even, the Undertaker wasn't even in conception yet. So prime Undertaker, I mean, if you want to consider that, I think most people would probably envision some version of Attitude Era Undertaker is probably what people would envision, I would think, when they think Sting versus Undertaker. Those two guys around that same time when Undertaker in his Ministry of Darkness, yada yada, full thing, and still in his physical, peak as well, and could go. And then obviously Crow Sting.
Yeah.
So that versus over Batista and Lesnar. Fuck this really. It's actually, well, I can say it ain't hard for me. I'm picking Sting versus Undertaker all day, just because again that is like the ultimate, match that we never got that people have always wanted. Like, if you were to rank them, that one is probably number one on most people's lists.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one. So, I mean, Lesnar versus Batista, it probably would have been a hell of a match. It'd have been a big powerhouse match of them just hitting each other with everything that they got. But I think the thing that would hold that match back, in terms of the actual in-ring aspect of it, would be Batista's wrestling ability. Because Batista had all the presentation, he had the presence, he was capable in the ring, but he wasn't on Brock Lesnar's level in the ring.
Right.
Not even close. He can match Brock Lesnar in terms of look, and on paper it'd be like, holy fuck, these two freaking, brick shit houses going at it with each other. But I think the match itself probably would leave a little bit lacking. Whereas Peak Sting and Peak Undertaker would have absolutely put on a phenomenal match on top of what the build-up and all that could have been.
Right. Doyle, let's hear your thoughts, buddy.
I tend to agree with Dre on this one. Although I think Peak Taker is a little later than the Attitude Era. I would say probably around the Shawn Mania matches, whenever that was at the mid-aughts.
Yeah, like 25, 27. You're right, Doyle. Fuck, good match.
I think that might be Peak Taker. And I mean, in 2026, I often will say, especially concerned around the Wyatt Six, that there's not much room for spooky hocus pocus shit in wrestling today. But 25, 30 years ago, I think the Taker Sting promos would have been fucking awesome. I just I like Batista a lot. I don't really care for Brock all that much. That match just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Taker and Sting is like, maybe second only to Hogan versus Flair, if you want to talk, old school WWF versus WCW. I just think there's a lot more cachet with Sting Taker than there is with Lesnar and Batista. So I would have to go with Sting and Taker.
All right, Sting and Taker. Well, I agree with both of you guys. You guys put out some pretty valid arguments. I like, the fact that Taker, in our eyes, we all kind of see him in different years of being peak because he was always a main event wrestler,
And he was around for 30 years.
That's another thing too. Yeah, exactly, dude. Just been around for so long. It's so hard to determine, what years. Like, his gimmick was great in the 90s, like Dre said with the Ministry of Darkness, but then the quality of his matches were the stories that were being told, and the matches in the story being told in the ring were better when he was fighting like Shawn Michaels, like Doyle said, and dude, it's good. And as much as I would love to see and always wanted to see Batista and Brock Lesnar, but I don't think the promos and the build up wouldn't be there for it. It would just be me getting excited for the actual just match itself. But nah, if I want the whole picture, the whole show, and nothing but the show, it's gonna. Yeah, I agree, guys. Sting and Taker. The entrances alone would be like a half hour, right? We'd have crows and fucking druids everywhere and fire everywhere and, oh God, it'd be great. It'd have to be at WrestleMania. Outdoors. Awesome. That's it for the bracket for this episode. For our fantasy match bracket.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sir David Attenborough. As you know, pro wrestling over the years has become incredibly overwhelming. We have Monday Night Raw at 3 hours, NXT at 2 hours, SmackDown at 2 hours, and some shit called Evolve and LFG. Let us not forget TNA and AEW. Also, then some off-the-wall start time PLE at 8 AM. Anyways, what I'm driving at is the time PCW puts in for you every day to cover all this bloody shit. So, the least you can do is head over to ProWrestlingTees.com and look up your favourite wrestling podcast and buy a goddamn shirt. You are a mark, aren't you? I'm wearing one right now. I showed some support and got some for friends and family. I can't wait for them to open their gifts and go, who the fuck is Podcast Championship Wrestling?
And moving on, let's get right into the Royal Rumble, the 2026 Royal Rumble. We only have 4 matches. We are all the way in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Let's talk about the stadium, guys. The stadium that was built in 20 days? Less than 20 days? The King Abdullah Financial District. Did you guys hear about this?
It looks like a great place to watch a show. I mean, the way they have it set up is something built specifically for pro wrestling.
Yeah, I thought.
I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like on TV, and I don't know, but like it looks like to be there looks like it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I
like that we're not getting a fucking mile-long ramp this year.
Right.
Because sometimes the buzzer goes off, the person makes their entrance, and by the time they get in the ring, the counter's going off again. You know, it's just like none of the action is focused on the ring. It's all focused on the entranceway when they do that.
Yeah.
So I think this is much better. Whether they have the fucking thing goes off, the person comes out, and then they're in the ring 15 seconds later.
Yeah. I agree.
I think that's so much smoother.
Considering the contracts that they have, this is a big investment. I mean, if you're having WWE coming back, possibly for WrestleMania, for other pay-per-views, this is an investment for them in Jeddah, to...
Well, is it permanent or is it just like a temporary thing?
It looks
Do we even know?
fucking permanent. I mean...
The way they threw it up, it seems like it's probably temporary, or maybe this is just, I don't know if it's something that they are going to expand upon for WrestleMania.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking of guys, when we went to WrestleMania, right? Like, think about bathrooms, think about food, think about fire exits. I mean, do you guys trust something that
fire exits?
Yeah, when
there's built with slave labor, they don't give a shit about fire exits.
Dude, Doyle, all I'm saying is when there's 72,000 people fucking yeeting in those stands, are you gonna fucking trust the structure of that thing? You sitting up in the fucking nosebleeds and that thing starts rocking, holy shit, would I be nervous? I'd be like, whoa. Like, why are we eating? The whole thing swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
Nope.
Definitely something to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's basically just a bunch of glorified. It's basically just glorified bleachers. It's fine. From what I gather, just by looking at it, that's really what it seems like. Like the arena is just basically a whole bunch of stands and a stage setup with a ring in the middle, and any other facilities any other facilities
everything's
like
outside
or outside off site, or you got to leave the stands area and then walk over to another area for
that's what it looks like.
Concessions and bathrooms and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you don't have to worry about OSHA and things like that.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot easier to get a stadium built.
We do not have OSHA. Exactly. If we have OSHA, we just give them a big pile of cash. All right, good. It's starting time 2 p.m. this Saturday. 2 p.m., which it sucks for me because I get done work at 1:30. I'm gonna rush home, and I'm gonna start it right away. And the reason is because I don't want to be fucking spoiled this year. And the reason being is I just feel like this is one of those pay-per-views where it doesn't feel like we had a huge build-up this year to it. It feels very lackluster.
No, it seems... as much as I feel like anybody, quite a few people could win this, it does seem like it was just thrown together at the last fucking second also.
Right.
I don't like, they had... When was the last proper pay-per-view? Like 2 months ago? Like, they had all the time in the world, and as they chose to throw a Saturday Night's Main Event the week before, and then jam all of this stuff into 2 weeks. And it's just like, I miss the days when, you had sometimes people you had to qualify, or like, I wish they would do more story stuff, or like, whoever wins this match gets a number, 20 to 30, and whoever loses gets 1 to 10, or something like that. Like, I wish there were more stakes leading up to it.
Yeah, I totally forgot to bring up Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, there was no advertisement for it. At least not that I recall. I recall a huge amount of advertisement. We had I'm going to read it real quick. Rhea and Io defeated the Judgment Day, Liv and Roxanne Perez for the women's tag team titles. AJ Styles put on a phenomenal match, no pun intended, with Shinsuke Nakamura, going 21 minutes and 20 seconds. Go back and watch that shit. We got Sami Zayn defeating Damian Priest, Randy Orton, and Trick Williams in a fatal 4-way to determine the undisputed WWE Championship. So there's not even a personal build up to the rivalry for that match. It's just he got it by number one contender by it was a tournament. So yeah, like Saturday Night Main Event, I totally spaced out on that. Like, I mean, did you guys watch it?
Watched it. I mean, it wasn't a bad show.
Right.
I will give them credit for, as opposed to other Saturday Night Main Events where they were just like, okay, here's some matches, yada yada, move on. At least this was used with some storyline advancement a little bit, or at least, some things taking place that. Well, I mean, at least some things took place that advanced other storylines forward somewhat. Yeah, we didn't get a actual match between between Jacob and Cody but Drew showed up and interfered, so clearly there's something still going on with that. Those three are probably going to be tied together moving forward past the Rumble.
Yeah,
because even though they kind of just mentioned it in passing and kind of glossed over it, but we do know now that Drew is the one who took out Jacob Fatu.
Right,
It was, in fact, not Cody the way people were trying to speculate before.
Damn it.
So, yeah, I mean, Jacob said it. Like, he was trying to get up when they had their sit-down face-to-face. He was trying to get at Drew for, kicking his teeth in or something like that. So, low-key confirmed it, but obviously they haven't done anything beyond that. So,
right.
I mean, we at least that, the match, the fatal 4-way that we had, obviously had stakes to it that actually matter, because now we have Sami challenging for the title at the Rumble. So I mean, I'll give him
in
credit
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's get into that match real quick. Sami Zayn going up against Drew McIntyre. Drew finally world WWE champion, heel WWE champion. And it feels like Sami Zayn now. Am I wrong here? Does it feel like Sami Zayn gets these title shots roughly in the beginning of the year, always before Mania, never wins it? It's always him or Kevin Owens. It feels like. Yeah, like he did. I remember the closest.
He had that match with Roman at the Chamber a couple years ago.
Closest I thought he was going to getting it was that with Roman. He was so over then. But
y'all should have known better.
Yeah, I know. But I just think if anything, I don't think he's gonna win the title here. I think if anything, he would win a Rumble before he'd win the title. I feel like that's the kind of story they would give. Sami.
Yeah, when they announced the Rumble in Saudi Arabia, I was like, oh, this is where the Sami world title story finally happens.
Right.
But now I think it'll be WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Yep. I was thinking the same exact thing. So I felt like this match was a lock-in after I kind of did, the numbers like you guys did and figured it out. Like, oh yeah, like next year, like that makes way more sense for a first title win for sure, guys. So I mean, for me, lock-in of the century, Drew McIntyre. But not to say that it's not going to be an awesome match. So, Jure.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I pretty much the moment Drew McIntyre won, I speculated that we were going to get Sami versus Drew at the Rumble because, like I said, like we've already said, Saudi Arabia. And the fact that, well, I take it back. I thought we were going to get it at Saturday night's main event. I thought that's when they were going to have it because I had forgotten that the Rumble was in Saudi Arabia. Well, then somebody reminded me of that. And I was like, oh, yeah, never mind. It's going to happen at the Rumble. So predictable. And, of course, Drew's going to retain because clearly Sami's not his focus. And that's not where the creative team's focus is at either, as evidenced by the fact that Drew interfered in the Cody and Jacob match, which there was no reason for him to do that if his focus was on Sami Zayn, the person he has to defend the title against. So, and that may not have been their intent when they did it, but by having Drew interfere in Cody and Jacob's match, they basically signaled that his match with Sami Zayn is a throwaway and it's basically being done just for the Saudis to appease them, to have the pop so that it looks good on television that, this dude comes out and he's over as hell and super popular and they're going to have a great match. The match is going to be absolutely awesome. And Sami's going to come within a fucking whisker of winning that title. Yep. And then he's going to fucking lose. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this match is going to be really good, but paint by numbers obvious as hell. Drew's going to retain.
Paint by numbers. All right. Doyle.
Yeah, I mean, I would pretty much echo everything Dre said. I mean, I think it's going to be a great match. Sami's going to come within a ball hair of winning the title, but he's not gonna. I maybe could see a world where he then comes back and wins the Rumble after. But I think that's wishful thinking or far-fetched thinking, or maybe. I think I think he will eventually win one of the world titles at some point, and probably some point. I don't know. I guess Mania next year is a little over a year away, but in the near future, I think. I don't think you start this I've never won a world title story without paying it off eventually. I do feel like he's failed, though, a couple times, so it's kind of strange to have him go through all that again, and then. But I mean, I think eventually he will get one of those titles at some point, but not on Saturday. And I mean, Drew just won the fucking belt. You know,
I know that's it.
I know there was some speculation about will he keep it to Mania or whatever? Is he a big enough star? But if they were going to take it off of him, it would have been Cody or somebody, or Roman or somebody like that. It's certainly not going to be. They're not going to take it off Drew to put it on Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania. Sorry, Sami. They're just not. So I think Drew wins this. But just by the skin of his kilt.
I think
they got to keep Sami looking strong.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens.
All right. Let's move on to the next match here. We don't have many. Oh my god, I lost the page. AJ Styles versus Gunther in a career-threatening match. If Styles loses, he will be forced to retire from his in-ring competition. Oh, fuck. I was thinking about it because I saw a meme and it was of AJ Styles having all these great matches last year. And the caption said you were watching AJ Styles' retirement all year and you didn't know it, and he has been putting on some killer matches, his contract is up. It wouldn't make sense to me to have Gunther lose after coming off of such a big win and going into WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to have him lose at least until WrestleMania. I think they're going to have him just keep winning. Gunther, just keep that fucking momentum going, man. Right now, he's probably like one of the most hated fucking people on the roster. I even said it would be clever as fuck if he was in the Rumble, that he came out to John Cena's fucking music first, and then his music would play after it, just to be a fucking heel. But this whole thing, this momentum of being the career killer, and now they're trademarking the name.
I don't like.
I don't like that either, because that makes me think of everybody who's going to be lined up in front of him. Who's next? Nikki Bella? Chris Jericho?
We could be so lucky.
Chris Jericho? I could see that happening. I could see that. He's not even in the same company right now, and I could already book it for this year. Chris Jericho.
I think I know who Gunther's next retiree would be.
Yeah,
but I will tell you that when we talk about the Rumble.
Gotcha. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to have Gunther lose. Now,
it also doesn't make sense for AJ Styles to lose either.
I understand that, but
it's like competing logical fallacies.
Right. I'm proposing an idea because it's absolutely batshit crazy if AJ Styles' last WWE match was in Saudi, right? In Saudi on a Royal Rumble. But then again, John Cena's was on a fucking Saturday Night Main Event. So it would be great per story for Gunther for this W. But I could see AJ Styles going and spending not the whole year, but spending a few months in TNA. Wrapping up some stuff in TNA. Giving TNA, now that they have that TV deal, maybe that means they can afford a little bit more, which means they can afford a contract like AJ Styles for a few months. Maybe not lock him in for a year or two. Maybe lock him in for 6-7 months or a few matches. I can see that bringing huge ratings, having AJ Styles over there. Bringing a big old fish like that back to a small pond again. I mean, AJ Styles putting over some younger guys in TNA, or running back some older matches, some feuds, reigniting all that old TNA footage. And then who knows? Per storyline, maybe he comes back at the end of the year in WWE and wraps it up in TNA. I mean, it would make sense, right? I mean, that's where he really came from, TNA. But that's a wild idea I have. Wild idea. But, I'd like to hear your thoughts, Dre.
Your idea is not as wild as you think it is, because that's the exact idea that I would have had.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking, because as you said, it makes no sense for AJ Styles' last match to happen in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. So that means either one or two things happens. Either A, he wins and this feud continues past the Rumble, or AJ Styles moves on to something else, or B, he does lose. It's seemingly the end of his career, but it's really just the end of his WWE career.
Yeah.
And then he signs with TNA to finish out the rest of his career. I mean, it could very well be the end of his WWE career, because I don't know that they would go so far as build this up the way it is, have him lose, just for him to go off somewhere else for a while, but then come back to WWE for another match. Like, it would take a lot to try to make that logically pull that off logically. But this could genuinely be the end of his WWE career. And then, like you said, he signs with TNA, he works with them, gives them a boost to their product now that it's on AMC with their television contract. Also, if he's technically signed with TNA, which I believe he probably would be, I think his contract would be up and he would actually sign with TNA. That would be the loophole that he would be able to exploit against Gunther should he return at a later date. But also with him being signed to TNA, that would probably give him freedom to work outside of TNA as well if he wanted to say have a farewell match in Japan or something. Like, I think Wrestle Kingdom's already happened, right?
That I wouldn't know. Where's Carlos when you need him?
Yeah. I feel like Wrestle Kingdom always happens around the beginning of the year in Japan. But either way, if that's already happened, or he could work that, one last time with somebody, have a final match in Japan. But like you said, all those things to really wrap up his career, he can do it, and he can do it on his terms without the restrictions that a WWE contract would impose on him. He would have that freedom with the TNA contract. And given that they are still partnered up with WWE, whenever he does finally decide to have that true last match of his career, they can do that in some crossover fashion with WWE.
Right.
Since he would at that point technically be a TNA star, but they could work out something.
Oh, for sure.
If they wanted to give it the high profile WWE stage. So that's what I've been thinking for a while is the route they're going to go. So as far as this match, I think he actually does lose the match.
Yeah. Doyle.
The way I see it, there are 4 ways this match could end.
Okay.
And only 3 of them are possibilities. The thing that will not happen is AJ is not going to win the match.
Right.
I think he could lose and just be done. I think that's certainly on the table. Not everybody wants or needs a victory parade, on their way out the door. And maybe he's one of those guys. There's the contract speculation stuff, but we don't know if any of that's true or not. If it is, it makes perfect sense. Shinsuke apparently made some social media post talking about how AJ had told him his career was going to end his last match was going to be at the Royal Rumble like a couple weeks ago. But then again, who knows if that's true or not. I think certainly AJ could lose and then do some time in TNA to wrap things up. I think that's probably the most likely. Or I think it could end in a schmoz, and we don't really get a winner or a loser, and thus AJ doesn't have to retire. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you've built up Gunther as this career ender,
right?
And then to have him not do it doesn't make a lot of sense. And while you don't put the career, you don't do that stipulation unless you're going to pay it off. I don't think.
Right.
So I think much more likely is that AJ loses, and then yes, he either does TNA, which I think is what's probably going to happen. They did tease he was on the TNA show, and they did tease stuff with him going forward there. Or he just loses and he's done. I think that's almost as likely. Like I said, not everybody needs to have their ass kissed on the way out the door. And maybe we've been watching his retirement all along. Like the meme said, memes are never wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think AJ is going to lose. And it's a matter of, does he actually retire or does he go to TNA and then retire? There's no chance that he wins, I don't think. And if it's a schmoz, you have to continue it, and then he just loses to Gunther when at Mania or at Chamber or something. And what good is that? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad we're all on the same page for that too. For all really good fucking reasons. Yeah, I would definitely think that now that TNA has that contract with AMC, they could definitely afford more star power and why not, right? That'd be a hell of a boost, and that's where he started out, and what kind of way to go out,
exactly.
What a nice rub. Like, hey, I'll help you guys with the ratings. You guys helped me with my career early on, so.
Back then, who'd have thought this company would even still be around?
Yeah, oh my God.
However many years later. 20 plus whatever years.
For sure, dude, would be eating crow right now if I, bet on that, because I for sure was like, there's no way
TNA was around longer than WCW was.
I was just about to say,
Yep.
If they haven't already surpassed WCW, they're coming up on it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, let's get into the exciting part of the show.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it, though. It's prominent. Just a quick side note, since we touched on it, WCW is still probably considered the number 2 wrestling company of all time, despite the fact that
in North America, anyway.
Well, yeah, in North America,
Mm-hmm.
despite the fact that there are other promotions that have now outlasted them, but still, you have yet to have had as big of an impact.
WCW really wasn't WCW all that long. I think when did it cease to be NWA? And the early '90s, maybe, or the late '80s at the earliest.
It was around late '80s. It was late '80s because for a while, they were.
What's that? 13 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
If it was 87, it was 13, 14 years.
Yeah, when it was still under Jim Crockett Promotions, it was it was WCW, but it existed
the name of the show, though,
NWA.
Right? The show was called World Championship Wrestling, like the TV show. That's not what the promotion was called, right?
It was both. It was both. They were still part of the the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, but it was technically, the promotion was WCW. It was World Championship Wrestling, and they had the Saturday show, which was called World Championship Wrestling, and then the Sunday show was called the NWA Main Event. Again, the promotion was WCW technically, but it existed. I want to say the promotion was WCW, but existed under Jim Crockett Promotions. So I don't know if the I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up to see if the company was World Championship Wrestling or if the company was Jim Crockett Promotions. It was one of the two. But as far as when they became full on non-NWA affiliated pure WCW is when Ted Turner bought it. And that took place probably, I want to say late 80s. Late 80s, maybe 1990 at the latest.
I want to bring this up as well. Do you guys recall if we're supposed? It's not on the wiki here. That's where I get our matches. But Stephanie Vaquera versus Raquel Rodriguez for the women's world title. I don't know if that's still on, like it's supposed to be.
I thought that was supposed to be on Raw next week. That's Raw next week in Philly.
Is it? Now,
yeah, it's a Philly street fight.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I don't know why I thought that was in the Rumble. That's right. It's right after.
There is another match that they had talked about. I guess maybe Finn Punk. I think they've talked about adding, or fans have speculated it gets added. Yeah. But who knows?
Yeah, because there ain't no other women's match on the card other than the Rumble.
Right. Let's get into the women's Rumble. As we know thus far on Wiki here, 17 out of 30 entrants has been announced as of January 29th, 2026. I will quickly run down this list. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, there she is, Bayley, Lyra Valkyrie, Asuka, Maxine Dupree, Becky Lynch. That's all from Raw. Now from SmackDown, you got Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Julia. Alright. Do you guys want to try to fill this first, or do you guys want to do your predictions first?
Oh, I mean, it could be both, right? I filled it out, and I filled it out. I made a Iron Man, a Diesel, a Final Four, and a Dark Horse winner.
I love this. All right,
I did my homework. Homework.
Let's
fill out the roster.
I agree. Let's fill it out. Okay, so I have the rest of the spots here from 18 to 30. All right. Let's think of some women that I heard rumors of from NXT. I heard that might be coming through. I heard Sol Ruka.
Yep. I guarantee.
Yep.
Yes.
Can we say Jordan Grace is on the main roster, right?
She's main roster.
Yeah,
she is.
Sol Ruka, I think you can guarantee is in there.
Yeah.
Their current NXT Women's Champion, Jacy
Jane. What's her name?
Jane.
Yeah. I think she's probably going to be in almost certainly. Jada Parker.
Yep.
I think strong chance she'll be in there still now that she's back. Maybe possibly even Blake Monroe. I wouldn't rule her out.
Oh, yeah.
Or Lola Vice.
Lola Vice as well, yep. I think that's...
But that's probably about it.
That's
four
about
at
it.
the most.
4, maybe 5 at the most from NXT.
Who do I have? Why did I write this down? I had... Dana Luna. That's a female wrestler from TNA. I was thinking of TNA females. Ash by Elegance. Do you guys remember her? That was
Ash
Dana
by
Brooke.
Elegance.
Dana Brooke. I can see that. If we're trying to pull from a TNA roster,
who's their women's champion currently?
Ooh, let me see.
Whomever that is really the only TNA person I could think would be in it. Whomever their champion is.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably not gonna be too. Oh, it's Is it still Xia Li?
Yeah, Xia Li, Li Ying Li.
All right, that might be fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's a good chance of being in there.
Maybe.
Right.
I mean, it used to be years past. You needed those kind of people to pad out this thing, but I think they have more than 30 viable people right now. So it's more of a who's not going to be in it. I think.
Okay. Let's
remember we talked about this before about how deep the roster is right now, especially with so many women being healthy right now at the same time.
Think
that
legends
this is
here.
A very, very,
up
in the air.
I think you can book Trish a ticket to Saudi Arabia for sure. She's on that idiot Stephanie McMahon's podcast this week. So I think for sure, I think she'll be there.
I
want to talk legends.
Today.
How about Nikki and Brie Bella?
It was actually a really good episode. It was a fun episode.
Oh, well, I believe it was Maxine Dupree, but I might be wrong about that. Did an InstaFace story or something like that while they were on the charter. And guess who was in the background? Clear as day.
Nikki Bella.
Yep. So how about
I think at least one Bella, if not both.
I have both. How about Paige? Free agent.
If we're talking about Paige. If we're getting into the surprise return,
we got three.
Of it, then
we got 3 spots left.
I would not rule out.
We have 3 spots. 3 left.
Well, you're putting in too many
JC
people.
James.
Yeah.
Listen,
some of the names we done listed already then need to be stripped out because there's still some main roster people that.
Listen,
like Tiffy is 100% going to be in this.
Yeah, we got Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton is definitely in. I think there's a non-zero chance that we get Bianca Belair's return.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I would not rule her out.
Yep. Who else?
Zoe Stark, I think, is probably close.
I think Zoe could make a return.
Zoe Stark.
AJ Lee, I think, is almost certainly.
I think there's a good chance of AJ Lee being in the Rumble because she's never done a Women's Royal Rumble before.
No.
Right. Kairi Sane. Asuka's in, but I don't think they said Kairi Sane was.
And there's
so
no
I wouldn't
way
be surprised
Asuka
to see her.
Kyrie, because I think Kairi already said she was wanted to help Asuka win the Rumble. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right.
You can never rule out Michelle McCool because they seem to need to involve her in fucking everything for some reason.
Yeah. Who?
I wouldn't rule out
Michelle McCool,
or Sarah Logan from the Wyatt Six, or Nikki Cross.
Oh, Nikki Cross. Okay,
Nikki Cross.
Yeah. When was the last time she even wrestled, though? I mean, not that it has any bearing on whether she'll appear in this or not, but it seems like it's been forever since she was.
We clearly have enough women. We're way over 30 now, which is great. This is great. Because
in other words, there will probably be fewer NXT people than we think. And like I said, like we said,
now that I'm looking at it,
TNA person, if anybody at all.
For sure, guys.
And
now
if it is a TNA person, it's going to be Xia Li as the women's champion.
So I can cross Ashley Elegance off. Yeah, for sure. Lola Vice, I can probably...
noteworthy from AAA could... I mean, there could be somebody, but...
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know. You know what? I would probably rule out a AAA.
I'm not familiar enough with their women's roster.
Yeah.
So...
Honestly, I would rule out AAA people just because I don't know if they're going to book somebody and have them go through the trouble of putting together an outfit appropriate for Saudi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now that we've filled it out, we kind of filled in the gaps of who we think could definitely be showing up, which I love this. Love this, filling in the gaps. Let's go into
down to the Final Four.
Final Four, all right? Dre, let me hear your Final Four. Let me write these down. Go ahead.
So, my Final Four, I think it's going to come down to Liv Morgan, a freshly returned Bianca Belair. I'm gonna say Rhea Ripley just because she's so fucking over. They can't help but make her one of the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
And who could I say make a really good showing in this and come out looking strong? Because this would be a really good platform to get somebody over.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say Jordan Grace, but probably not. No, it won't be Nia Jax.
No, there's another one for the Rumble. Nia.
She's already in.
She's already listed. Never mind. Yep, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm saying Rhea, Bianca, Liv, and
it's so
debating
hard.
between Asuka or Becky Lynch. I'm debating between Asuka or Becky Lynch as one of the final four. Nah, Becky's not going to. No, Becky's not. Because AJ Lee's going to show up and she's going to cost her and get her probably put out fairly early on, which is going to set up their feud moving forward. Mm-hmm. So AJ Lee, Becky Lynch, they won't be part of the final four. I would love the dark horse Chelsea Green as one of the final four. I'm gonna have her as a dark horse.
Fuck yes. All right.
I would love for Chelsea Green to win a Rumble one year.
Yeah.
And just in it, not necessarily in like a serious way, not to make a joke of her character, but she always has this thing of, or starting to develop this thing where she's surviving almost by accident. Whereas like, she gets knocked out and she's like unconscious for half of the Rumble and shit. And then she wakes up and there's like 6 people left. It's like, holy shit. I would love to see them do that one year or something like that. Maybe not that exact thing, but where she's like accidentally surviving for the whole thing and just finding ways. And then the crowd just starts getting behind her. And then before she knows it, she's one of like the final four and then has to actually get serious and then gets serious and wins the damn thing. I think that would be like the perfect way for her to win the Rumble, but it's not going to be this year.
Okay, so now who do you have as your final two? You have Liv, Bianca, Rhea, and Chelsea Green.
I think the final two will be Liv and Bianca, and the winner this year for me on the women's side, I think, is Liv Morgan. She's come so close so many years.
Yeah.
And been falling just short, either being the last one eliminated or the next to last one eliminated. I think this is the year she finally breaks through.
Okay. Man, I like that. Doyle, let's hear your homework, man.
All right. Well, I don't think there will be an Iron Man this year. Iron Woman, rather, this year.
Okay.
The last couple of years, we've had people going. I think Bailey went over an hour. Then I think last year 2 people. I think Liv and Roxanne both went over an hour. I don't think we're going to get that this year because I think this is going to go on first. It's going to be like 75 degrees, and they're all going to be wearing those plastic beekeeper outfits. So I don't think anybody's going to be in there for an extremely long time this year. But for the Diesel spot, I think Lash Legend is going to come in and eliminate 6, 7, 8 people. Mm-hmm. But my final four is almost exactly like Trey's. Yeah. I have Chelsea Green, Liv Morgan, I put Jordan Grayson, and a returning Bianca Belair.
Cool.
I didn't think of a final two, but I would probably go with the same final two that Dre had, Bianca and Liv, except I will have Bianca win. I think, but then we go do Bianca Jade, strike while the iron gets any cooler, maybe. I feel like this would have been hot. I think there was a time when we said that's the hottest match they got, and I don't think that's the case anymore. Mm-hmm. But I still think it certainly can be heated back up. I think that they came in teasing that right off the bat. I think that's the direction they're going to go in. Finally, pull the trigger on that one. My dark horse to win the thing though was Tiffany Stratton. I could see a world where she, if they want to go with someone that's never won one, I still think they're going to tease out that Liv comes so close and doesn't do it. And I think, eventually she'll get a Rumble win, if not 2, under her belt, before it's all said and done. But I think they're going to drag her out another year or.
Yeah.
I think Bianca comes back and wins it.
I had a similar thought about Bianca winning and then them going into the feud with her and Jade, which, probably I think is still there working for WrestleMania. What made me apprehensive about that and maybe changed my mind on Bianca the Rumble this year is the Jade this year, where he won the Rumble, then they had to drag that feud out all the way to WrestleMania, and it lost all its momentum. I would like to think that they learned from that mistake last year, and that they won't turn. And because of that, they won't rush into the Bianca Jade feud. We're still going to get that feud, but if Bianca wins the Rumble, then it starts basically that very next week.
Well, she doesn't maybe have to declare it for, they could do a couple weeks of her dragging it out, her coming down to ringside and maybe watching Jade's match and maybe watching Stephanie Velcro's match, and maybe tease it out. And so that by the time she declares, we've knocked a month off the time we have to drag it out, I think that's a possibility.
Right.
Remember, they also tried that last year, though, as well with Charlotte when she won. And it also killed that dragging out thing. Didn't work out too well for her. Also, with people not responding well to the fact that she even won the damn thing in the first place. Yeah. So I think my guess is Bianca becomes close. She's back. They won't jump right into a feud with her and Jade, but there will be some level of tension between them. Like, they'll come back and she's going to try to be cool with her despite Jade's new attitude, and they'll do that maybe for a while. That'll get them a few weeks going into Elimination Chamber, and then I think by that point either Bianca and Jade will be in a full-on feud at this point. The friendship will have dissolved and they're enemies now, or Bianca, they'll still be cool. Bianca will win the Elimination Chamber, and then from there, it's full speed ahead with them beefing. Like, oh, you win in the Elimination Chamber? You coming after me now, bitch? All right, then what's up then? And then it's,
Bianca won the Elimination Chamber last year, though.
I know.
Which isn't to say she can't do two in a row. But
wait, Charlotte won it last year.
I thought about that too. Like, damn,
she won it the year before that. Bianca right?
No, it was last year.
Charlotte,
because that's how she
got. Charlotte
last
won the
year, Charlotte won the Rumble and Bianca won the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, Chamber. Okay,
yeah. That's how she had the thing with EO set up.
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah.
Bianca won the Rumble, won the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And we thought we were going to finally get Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania, but then EO beat Rhea the next night on Raw and became the women's champion.
I know. We were not fans. All right, guys. I think for my pick, I pretty much very similar to you guys for the last four. Maybe it's just that predictable this year. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Rhea, and again, the fourth person can be swapped out between Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. I see, because Tiffany's been out for a while too, and a lot of people forget how long she was fucking champion for. She most of the year. So
most of last year.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so goddamn lackluster.
Yeah. So expect her to Tiffy time, and you're right, Doyle. These women are all going to be in Power Ranger outfits, and I just read the news before we started that there was a report that I guess a little frustration that all the women's outfits they had to pay for themselves, all their ring gear. So I does
did not do that in the past.
I
thought they always have paid for their own gear.
Yeah, I thought so too. But there's a lot more women going this year.
I never known WWE to cut the check.
Yeah. Well,
it is a unique situation where it's a situation where you have a specific kind of thing you have to wear.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't just wear the same old. You have to do something totally different. So, I can see maybe some frustration there, but I was under the impression anyway that that's always how it's been. They've always taken care of their own shit.
Yeah,
right. Because I've heard them bitch about, how much stuff costs or they didn't, I wanted to wear this that night, but I didn't get it in time. So I didn't,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure wrestlers, wrestlers, men and women, pay for their own gear, and they have, their people that they go to, that for their outfits or their person or a couple people that they go to. I don't know if, at best, maybe I could see if if WWE gave them maybe a stipend for the Rumble fits because they were, against unique circumstances, but also it's kind of one of those things where they've been doing it long enough now that they all know it's coming. So it's like, hey, Rumble, if you're booked to be on the plane to Saudi, then obviously you got to have the outfit.
Right. So that's my last four. My last two is Liv and Bianca. And I'm kind of agreeing with Dre here. I think this is Liv's time, man. She was out with an injury. She came back. She always comes so goddamn close, you know. It sucks that Bianca would have to get that treatment again, but I feel like that she'll get that title shot at WrestleMania. There's just other ways for her to get there. She's done it before in the Chamber. Maybe Bianca's just, if she wins Chamber again this year, maybe that's just her thing. Like, anytime Bianca enters that Chamber, that's a W for her. Like, that's just her fucking thing.
Queen of the Elimination Chamber.
You know, what's that?
Queen of the Elimination Chamber. Exactly, dude. Like, who is? Nobody is. We'll give that to fucking Bianca. You know? Then if she gets that, and that'll lead her into the feud with Jade Cargill, which is just what we've been dying for so fucking long. Liv winning the Rumble, and then, with given the injury with Stephanie Vicaire, I mean, it's fucking crazy. Swerve of the century, right? Giving Raquel the world title. That ain't happening.
It ain't happening, but there's an injury, man. I mean, think
she
about it.
She wrestled on Raw, though.
She just wrestled this week.
I understand. I understand, but sometimes we get those title changes out of nowhere, and we don't want them. We always get one at WrestleMania that we don't want. We always get a feud or a match at WrestleMania that we don't care about. I feel like they're going to give us Liv versus Raquel at WrestleMania, and I don't want it. But
that is not a WrestleMania caliber match. It's not.
It's not. But I don't know.
It's more like Great Balls of Fire,
right?
That's not happening.
Anyway,
there are way too many big name women on the roster, and that's nothing against Raquel Rodriguez, but there are way too many big name women, especially on the Raw roster, for Raquel Rodriguez to go into WrestleMania as the women's world champion. Again, I'm sorry, but she ain't there yet.
Let me throw you another batshit crazy idea, Dre. All right, you have Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair fighting in the ring, right? They're at number 29, right? We're waiting for number 30 to come in. You got only two wrestlers left in the ring, number 30. Chelsea Green comes out number 30, right? Walking down to the ring. So she's one of the
last three by default?
No. Chelsea Green comes out to the ring. Chelsea Green gets in the ring. And in the process of her getting in the ring, Bianca and Liv are going at it at the side, and they pull a Batista, John Cena, and eliminate each other. Fucking Chelsea wins the Women's Royal Rumble by default.
I would hate that so much.
Yeah, that'd be
Do
awful.
You know that idea was kicked around?
I pitched the idea of Chelsea surviving by accident, but not her winning a Rumble without doing anything. I feel like that would.
The idea was pitched in season 1 of WWE Unreal on Netflix. They pitched that idea for, I think it was last year's Rumble.
And it got shot down for good damn reason.
But who's not to say they're not stupid enough to fucking recycle the idea?
No, Triple H would not let that. No, as much as people want to maybe criticize Paul and for whatever ideas he does or whatever booking he does, I don't think Paul would disrespect the Women's Rumble or the wrestlers with something like that.
Right.
And honestly, in that type of booking, I think would be just that. It would be disrespectful to have 29 women go out there, bust their ass, fight like a motherfucker, just for one person to walk down the ramp, not even break a sweat, and win.
Mm-hmm.
The fans would hate that. The fans were like, that's just a bad idea all around, across the board. There's no way you can book that in any way, shape, or form that it would work.
All right, let's move on to the men's. Let's get the last match. 17 men who are announced in the match. The ones on SmackDown we have is Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Randy Orton. The known Raw wrestlers are Gunther, Jey Uso, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Penta, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Javon Evans, and NXT Oba Femi, and then free agent Brock Lesnar. I can do whatever the hell I want. Announced
I would consider
on the Pat
Oba Femi
McAfee
to be
show.
free agent as well. He's not NXT anymore. He just hasn't debuted on the main roster. This will basically be his main roster debut.
Right.
Is this Rumble.
So 18 to 30. Who can we predict to show up that is not on this list?
Matt Cardona, because he's already over there.
All right, let me write this down. Matt Cardona.
La Knight.
Yep.
LA Knight. How about Chad Gable?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of opportunity there to do something wonderful. Whether it's two competing El Grande Americanos in the ring at the same time, or he just comes back as yoked Chad Gable and he just tears. I don't think El Grande Americano has declared either, but assuming they're in it, that would be great if Chad Gable just goes and destroys him or something. I think there's a lot of opportunity for fun with Gable and either as or against an El Grande Americano.
I would definitely pencil in El Grande Americano in this Rumble, just for that very reason, just to get some sort of confrontation between him and Chad Gable, whether it is Chad or Chad as El Grande.
Do we get
either way? It's going to be funny.
Who do we get from TNA?
I don't know that we do.
Nick Nemeth?
Yeah.
Do we get Moose, Leon Slater?
Maybe
Leon Slater. Maybe Leon.
I think you're more likely to see Vikingo or Mr. Iguana than somebody from TNA. Just so that they can have the iguana go flying over the top rope, and I think that would be fun.
Dude, I
think this match is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Mr. Iguana's a good one.
If anybody from AAA is going to come over and be in this, it would definitely be some guys on the men's side, and Mr. Iguana I could see definitely being in the Rumble.
Pat McAfee,
because he's fun. No,
please no.
No, okay. Shane McMahon.
No. They ran that gimmick. Shane, no.
No.
Chris Jericho.
Possibly, but he's still on the AEW roster page, as he was yesterday anyway. I haven't checked today. And they keep that thing pretty fucking up to date. Like, Thomas Ciampa was on there about 5 minutes after he debuted. So it's not like nobody's paying attention to that thing. And I got to believe that as long as Jericho's still on that roster page, he's still under contract.
Mm-hmm.
Will I totally rule it out? No. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Joe Hendry. All right.
Yeah, Joe Hendry's definitely going to be in the Rumble. Definitely.
Did you see they just... This is somebody I think guaranteed they're going to waste a spot on. Did you see they signed some Saudi Arabian power lifter or something to a developmental deal? I think 100%. I've never been more sure of anything in my entire life. That guy's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Saudi local,
just for the pop.
Gotcha. Saudi local.
Yep, Saudi local. Basically, I don't remember his name, but I heard it. He's definitely going to be in there. Trick Williams going to be in the Rumble.
Mello, maybe Dragunov.
Yep, Dragunov.
KO maybe.
No,
I don't know where he's at with his recovery, but
yeah,
And I'm telling you, until number 30 has come and everyone but one person has gone over the top rope, I'm not going to be convinced that Seth Rollins is not going to be involved in this.
Dude, I was just about to bring it up. That's the last guy on my list here, Seth Rollins.
I could see him doing a Hogan with Sid, where he isn't in the Rumble, but he costs Spawn Breaker somehow, right. Or maybe even a world if he's not ready, but he's close. Maybe there's a world where maybe they do that fakakta Chelsea Green thing where he comes out 30 and no one's left, or maybe he comes out 30 and all he really has to do is bump a guy or two over the top, and then maybe he doesn't have to wrestle for 2 months, 3 months, whatever. I think that's a possibility. I kind of hope not. I don't want them to send somebody with one wing out there, but I don't think he can rule it out. I just don't trust this dude. I won't believe it until I see produced by Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting. I'm not going to believe that Seth Rollins is legitimately injured.
I get it. I know Seth has broken trust with everybody, so nobody's ever going to believe any injury he ever has again.
Right.
But if I'm putting money on it, I'm putting a money on a no for Kevin Owens and a no for Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth Rollins was literally in New York today on First Take in studio.
Yeah.
So if he's going to be in there at the Rumble or anything, he had to have been on like the first thing smoking out this country after he was on First Take in New York this morning.
I know everybody else is on PG, man.
I know. Like he
can catch PG money.
He can get a red eye or
or PJ,
charter
not PG.
Yeah, or have a certain charter thing.
But however you spell the word jet.
Dre, what's your final four, final two, and your winner?
Final four. I'm gonna say Braun Breaker, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Shit. I really want to say Obafemi.
Yeah, right.
I think he needs to have a very strong debut to make him seem like the big deal that they're hyping him up for.
Right.
There is obviously the Brock Lesnar and Gunther factor of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two, similar to how I said in the Women's Rumble about, who could I say was going to take each other out in the Women's Rumble? Or did I say
Nia,
take each other out?
Nia and somebody else?
No. I don't know if I said anybody was going to, if I thought anybody would take each other out or cancel each other out in the Women's Rumble. But in this Men's Rumble, I do think Gunther and Lesnar might cancel each other out.
Right.
In this match to set up the WrestleMania. If they're both in it, then we got to get some sort of face. We might have to get some sort of face-to-face confrontation. And I could see one eliminating the other, or them two eliminating each other to set up the feud moving forward. So I'm going to go Roman, Cody, Braun Breaker, and Obafemi, with my final two being Roman and Braun Breaker. And I'm still going with Roman Reigns to win. I know Braun, it seems like he's on his way, and it definitely feels like the machine has gotten behind Braun Breaker. And it seems like he's like just... See, the issue I have with Braun Breaker right now, and it kind of stems from what they did this past Monday on Raw, where they had the whole Vision in the room and they said, we're all in, so we all need to come together and agree Braun Breaker's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's basically a whole collective Vision effort to get Braun Breaker to win the Rumble.
I have a question. Now, okay. Paul Heyman said he alluded to having some surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brock Lesnar called Pat McAfee and told him he was in the Rumble. Was Brock Lesnar supposed to be the surprise?
I think so. Wait, did Brock Lesnar call Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show? Or did that happen? It was on the Pat McAfee show today.
I don't know if it was today, but it was this week.
Okay.
He called in and declared for the Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, because I think Paul Heyman said he had a surprise. Paul Heyman was on First Take yesterday from Saudi Arabia. I think it was yesterday. He was on First Take yesterday. I think he mentioned that yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He mentioned that there could be. No, you're fine. I think he mentioned that there could be, like, he had his 4 and a possible surprise other person. So I think that person is Brock Lesnar that they're talking about. But I don't think Brock Lesnar is going to fall in line the way Paul Heyman thinks. Not in the interest of getting Braun Breaker the win. Brock Lesnar might come in there and, maybe help out a little bit and wipe some people out. But at some point, Brock Lesnar is going to go for Brock Lesnar. He ain't about to make it. He's not going to put himself behind Braun Breaker just because Paul Heyman wants it. Fuck no. That's not Brock Lesnar's character at all.
Cool.
So I don't know who another surprise person could be unless the Vision's about to get a 5th member. Right. I don't think that's going to happen. So, but like I said, back to the point I was making about Braun Breaker, and I think this current push that he has. Mm-hmm. The only issue I have with it, because like I said, it feels like the machine has gotten behind him and he's like on his way to the top. But it feels like he's on the bus, but he's not driving the bus. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense. It feels like he's a passenger on his own train to the top as opposed to being the actual conductor and being the driving force behind his own push to the top. Like when Brock Lesnar came in and he, had that rocket ship strapped to him to the top. Yes, Paul Heyman was his guy right next to him, but Brock Lesnar was the driving force behind his push. Brock Lesnar was the one making it happen. He was the one out there beating motherfuckers down left and right. He was the one that we were invested in. Braun Breaker, they've been doing this thing where they're keeping him off TV, suppress. It's almost like a little level of suppression where it's like they don't want to overexpose him too much. Not saying that there's anything wrong with him and that's why they're doing it, but like they're deliberately doing this thing of dragging out his actual actions. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't had a singles match in a while. He's been bickering with Adam Pearce, and like I said, Adam Pearce suspended him, kicked him out, said, "Don't do this. You're out of here. You're out of this." And it seems like they're just kind of dragging out this thing of Braun Breaker actually doing something to make himself the driving force behind his own push. Mm-hmm. And yet, despite it, he's still being pushed. So that's why I can't quite fully get behind it happening for him just yet.
Right.
I do still think he's probably going to be in a title match at WrestleMania. I just don't think it's going to happen through him winning the Royal Rumble. He'll probably be the Elimination Chamber winner this year. But the Royal Rumble winner, I think, is going to be Roman Reigns.
Damn. All right. Doyle, what's your 4, your 2, and your 1?
Well, I want to go back to the Lesnar for a sec.
Go for it, buddy.
I think, yes, Dre kind of touched on it. I think 100% chance he turns on the Vision at Royal Rumble. What are we talking about? However, I think that sets up a Brock-Braun WrestleMania match because you need Brock as a face. And then it sets up Brock-Gunther at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. Brock's hometown, and that's probably Lesnar's retirement match, and keeps Gunther retiring folks. Anyway, okay. So I did Iron Man. I just said Jey Uso just because he's not going to win. He's not going to be in the Final Four, but they're going to give him something big because he won last year. I think Obafemi gets the Diesel spot. I think he comes in and eliminates 5, 6, 7, 8 people. But my Final Four, very similar to Dre's. I got Braun, Roman, Cody, and Brock. And maybe that's where Brock turns on Braun. I'm not sure. I have Roman winning also. It just... I couldn't think of anyone else that made sense. Except for one person. This is my dark horse person. And I think we've said enough about Roman winning. So I think there's a world where the Rumble winner and the Elimination Chamber winner, and if they don't do it like this, I hope they do it like this sometime. If not this year, next year, some other year. I want the Rumble winner and the Elimination Chamber winner to declare for the same person. So I think there's a world where Jacob Fatu wins the Royal Rumble and Cody wins the Elimination Chamber, and they both declare for Drew. And that frees up who's the other champion? The Punker to do something else. I don't know what else, but they don't. It's not beholden to the winner of something, right? They can do anything else. I think I can't think of another way to get Fatu, Cody, and Drew in a title match all together, unless they both win their respective chamber in the Rumble, and then they both declare for Drew.
Right.
If it doesn't happen this year, I hope it happens sometime. I think that would be a great drama. If you get the Rumble winner and the Elimination Chamber winner in the ring, and the GM is like, all right, it's going on long enough, you have to declare who you're facing, and they both say the same thing. I think that would be good. And I think this is an opportunity to do that. I can't think of any other way to get the three of those guys in a title match at Mania if that doesn't happen. Now, is it going to happen like that? Probably not. Is they going to find some other way to make it happen? Probably. But I think that would be a lot of fun if that happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's very inspired booking. That would make it much more interesting versus them doing what they typically always do, which is you guys keep fighting each other all the time, so damn it, we're sick of y'all. Y'all going to sell this once and for all triple threat match.
I can't take Cody winning the Rumble again. So I think that's out.
Yeah.
And I think Jacob Fatu is a legit, is one of the 3 or 4 people that could legitimately win the thing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I could definitely see Brock Lesnar turning on the Vision in the Rumble. Like, they seem like they show up. At some point, all 5 of them are in the ring, and they're working together pretty well and wiping out people. And then Brock Lesnar just goes beast mode and starts wiping out the Vision, where he eliminates Austin Theory, he eliminates Logan Paul, he eliminates Bronson Reed, and then Braun Breaker eliminates Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that could happen, sure.
Yeah. I have.
But I think they're going with those two at Mania. I think that's the Mania match.
You know what? That's a way to drag out the postpone the Gunther Brock Lesnar match if they are determined to have Gunther beat Brock's last opponent.
Yeah, and then SummerSlam is in Minneapolis if it's still there in the summer.
Which I'm also in the agreement that SummerSlam will probably be Brock Lesnar's last match. I still personally want his last opponent to be Obafemi, but they are probably going to go with the safe money thing and fucking Gunther, which why I'm the career killer thing kind of annoys me because.
Well, I think you're going to be quite happy because I think Obafemi is going to have a great showing.
I believe he's going to have I think Obafemi, if they're going to give him anything, he will probably get the most eliminations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It'll be that Diesel spot or Kane spot, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, at some point, just having everybody's last match being against the same guy, to me, gets boring at some point. And I think, for me personally, I think I'm kind of already at that point where it's like, somebody's last match, oh, God, against Gunther again. Like, yes, the matches are going to be, they're not going to suck, but damn, does everybody's last match got to be against the same motherfucker?
My last 4, I have Roman, Cody, Braun and Orton. I have Orton in
Man.
Yeah, man. Orton's getting up there, and he hasn't been in a Royal Rumble since 2022. Just believe it or not.
Crazy, he's not even declared.
Yeah, he's declared,
isn't he? I would have put him in it. I didn't even. Isn't he declared?
Yeah,
no, his name ain't on the list. On
as
WWE's website, his name's not on the list.
As of yesterday, he announced on Get Up, which is an American sports talk morning television program hosted by Mike Greenberg that airs weekly.
Yeah, it's on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
it's the lead-in show for First Take.
Yeah. So
I wrote him down on my list of confirmed people. So I must have thought he was confirmed for some reason.
I mean,
okay, well, if he declared on Get Up, then
I would love to see, Orton and Drew, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, I definitely see him in the final 4, but I don't see him as the final 2. And for the final 2, I have it down to Roman and Braun, and I know that sounds very odd people to be down in the final 2 guys who really don't have any beef with each other, but that
was my final 2.
Right, but that also they don't need to have people with a story together or any kind of beef. That's not how it used to always be. Like maybe the last guy from Raw and the last guy from SmackDown. That's always how they would try to get it. But yeah, and when it comes down to who wins this, I mean, I could see them even letting Roman come out at number 30. But I just think with such the push that they've been giving Braun, it could go either way. But either way, he's getting into that world title picture at WrestleMania. I know he went against Punk and lost, but they're gonna run it back. And I've said that before the first time when they went against each other. I said, you know what, he's probably gonna lose this, and they're gonna run it back again later. And I think running that back is at WrestleMania. The momentum he's been having, being, I guess, what feels like to be the leader of the Vision, now that Seth is gone. I don't know. I just feel like with this momentum, it would be a smart move to just keep it going and put him in that world title with Punk again and, do it at WrestleMania.
See, is he the leader of the Vision, or is he Paul Heyman's number 1 chosen guy?
Yeah, and I'm kind of
because the Vision as it currently exists isn't really a wrestler-led faction. It's really Paul Heyman, led faction with his chosen guys, and just that Braun is currently his number 1, his top chosen guy right now.
Right, and
like,
boy,
even
what I
in
love
the interview that.
What I love,
Punk, even in the interview that Heyman, even in the interview that Heyman did on First Take, that was kind of how he spelled it out. Because obviously, Paul Heyman ain't breaking kayfabe for no goddamn body, so he did that whole interview on First Take in kayfabe, and he was talking about how this is the Vision, this is our plan as of right now. There will come a time for, he said there will come a time for Bronson Reed. There will come a time for Logan Paul. There will come a time for Austin Theory. But right now, the time is for Braun Breaker, and this is the Vision. And he spoke as if like he's the head coach laying out the plan, and all the other guys are the players executing it. So again, kind of feeds into my whole thing about, Braun Breaker being a passenger on his own train.
Right. Yeah. And
instead of the conductor.
Well, what might throw a monkey wrench in everything. And Wayne, you said it earlier that it seems like the last couple of years, right around this time, one of the world titles changes.
Yeah.
And what if it's Phil?
Yeah.
I mean, he's really the only one that even makes sense, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mania.
If he loses it at the Chamber, whoever he ends up wrestling at And I'm sure he'll have if he doesn't have a match at the Rumble, he'll most likely have one, I would think, next pay-per-view. I mean, who's it going to be? I don't know. Maybe that's where they do Finn. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right.
I just remembered. I put a pin in Wayne saying, like, it feels like they do a title change. And I've been thinking, like, when or who would it even be? Maybe it's Phil. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for the Rumble in general because, you know, this is a lot of stories that can begin. You know, a lot of feuds can be tested here. You know, some legends coming back.
A lot of star power.
Dude, like, I'm excited. Obafemi, I want to see Obafemi in the ring with Brock Lesnar. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Obafemi in the ring with Jacob Fatu. I'm excited to see, you know, Logan Paul in the ring, you know, with some of these guys, with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee and Penta. You know, I'm excited to see some of that shit. Gunther in the ring with guys like Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. You know, Orton haven't been in this ring, the Rumble, in a while. And then, you know, you got Solo and Roman. And these are just people that we know are in. You know, Triple H dropping tweets like, you know, where this is going to be the most star-studded Rumble you've ever seen.
That gives me pause. That gives me pause. Because every fucking time he does that, it's a dud.
Absolutely, Doyle.
A dud.
Absolutely. And you know what, though, too? Let's be real. Like, when they say shit like this and we're thinking here who could actually be there, let's be logical. Like, this isn't like, it's not in Philadelphia, you know? It's not in Texas. It's not even in fucking Canada. Dude, this isn't Saudi. You know, some of these legends, you know, some of these guys, they don't have a lot of fucking money. There's like a lot of money to like get. You have to pay for your own flight and everything, I assume, right? I mean, to and your own hotel and all that shit when you fly.
Depends on how good your agent is.
Exactly, but I mean, like for the majority, like, and then not just that, to keep it quiet. I mean, if we are getting legit surprises, whoever it is, it's been very quiet. And to get all the way to Saudi, I mean, so far the real spoiler, like Doyle said, we've gotten so far is, we know Nikki Bella's there. Like, yeah, that's about it. I mean, so I'm pretty impressed. I'm impressed with that. The secrets.
I mean, I like not. No, like I'd rather not know. Obviously,
yeah,
I mean,
me
I'm still gonna
Absolutely.
I'm still gonna fill a syringe up with dirt sheets and stick it right in my fucking arm. Yeah. But you know, like when Edge came back, like nobody knew that was gonna happen. You know what I mean? It was like almost unbelievable. The cameraman fucking missed the spear. He was so shocked. No. You know.
I've been going back.
I feel like those moments are so fucking hard to create, especially with the internet and people. You know, everybody's got a fucking camera on them at all times. You know, like it's so
especially with
fucking
this thing
hard.
And especially with this thing being overseas, obviously, you know, you've got people staking out the airports, just looking to see what wrestler, what star is going to come through. So, if there is going to be a surprise person of that level, it's going to be somebody they're going to have to sneak in the middle of the night. Or some
Absolutely.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's in New York City and you can fly to Newark instead, you know.
Right. Or they're going to have to like sneak them in on like a military flight or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
Triple H going to have to call them down. Hey, man, y'all got any flights coming over? Hey, man, you mind if KO hit your ride?
Yeah.
We'll pick them up from the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, man. That's it for predictions. I mean, overall, I'm super psyched. It's going to be at 2 p.m., you know, be nice and done. So if you don't plan on watching until later in the day, I would stay off the internet. Because this is like one of those rumbles where, a lot of our last 4 are pretty much the same. Our last 2 are very much the same. And some of us, our picks for the winners are very much the same. But it doesn't mean we're fucking right. You know, sometimes we're making speculation become expectation, you know, and then Jey Uso wins. So, we don't always get what we want, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. I'm excited.
We'll see.
Yeah. Dre, you got anything you want to plug before we go?
Nothing. Just as always, Instagram.com/podcast championship wrestling.
Yeah. Doyle, what do you want to plug? Anything?
Oh, just find me in the Discord if you want to chat. Like the Facebook page. Go Pats and fuck Ice.
Yeah. With that said, let's get the hell out of here. I'm going to do the Royal Rumble countdown.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out, for almost 6 years, I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next! Talk about your songs, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass. Well, let me tell you something, brother. New day!
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome.
Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.